All right, we're good.
All right, I am calling the Tuesday, April 25th, 2023 Boardman Park and Rec District meeting to order at 6:03. Shelby. We have all four board members present. Shelby Piercy, Lynn Craig. And then we have our, oh God, how about everybody go around the room and say your name?
I'm not sure we have a four.
We do.
Do it, yeah.
Yeah, that'll be true.
Go ahead.
So, how do I be the maintenance manager here at Boardman?
Thank you. Louise?
First compost.
Eco Vegas, restoration, facility manager.
Thank you.
Works over.
All right, thank you. Of which I'm gonna note that Rebecca and Chief Hughes and Luis, we're gonna leave you on as a
Budget committee.
budget committee member, okay, because we need to have three of them. Okay, so we're gonna leave you on there until we reconvene our regular board meeting. So those three will be our budget committee, okay?
Yep.
All right. Approval of the meeting agenda, I'm gonna move the swearing in of Luis. And that's one of our budget people that showed up.
Oh, that was short.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move number 3 down to 6.5. So we can make our form. And if I can get somebody to make a motion to approve.
We had anything?
You know, just that, I know you wanted to change the title of the district manager.
I wanted to add it to new business, so it'll be old business next time, so we can make a motion.
That topic? Okay,
You can't do nothing because it wasn't on the 72 hour. We can't move on anything that wasn't supposed to. Does that make sense? We can't add new business.
You can discuss it.
You can discuss it, you can't.
okay. All right, so we're gonna put that under new business then. The fact that David wants to change the title of the district manager. Or wants to discuss it, sorry. And then I have other business, we'll discuss that when we get there. Any other changes to the agenda? No, I need a motion to approve it.
Move we approve the agenda with the changes made.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. All right, then we are going to adjourn our regular meeting to convene the 2023-24 budget committee. And I'm supposed to ask for nominations of the budget committee chair. Would anybody like to be the budget committee chair? Your duties would be to call the budget committee to order. And then you could ask the budget officer, Shelby.
How you got paid for that?
There you go. All right, all in favor of Luis being the budget committee chair? All right, all opposed? No, all right. So Luis, you are gonna be number 3. And 4. Yeah.
So we're gonna do the budget meeting right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so. I think the budget meeting is 2024 motion. Order, there you go. Order. So. Do I have to get a second? Or did you?
No, we just-
Sorry, okay, I just called the budget committee to order.
Thank you. And then go ahead and go on.
And you said 4?
Yeah.
Uh.
We're
3.
gonna,
Oh, 3. He's on 2 and 3.
oh, sorry, this one right there, budget, right there. You're gonna ask the budget officer Shelby to present the.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Super easy.
But, budget committee chair asked the budget officer Shelby Piercy to present the budget.
Well, I'm just gonna welcome you guys to the budget committee meeting for fiscal year 2023-2024. Some of the, since you guys have been here before, you kind of know how we do our budget. I'm just gonna talk to you about some of the biggest changes that we made over this last year, and one of the biggest changes was we reclassified our park fund from a, oh my gosh, I just lost the word. It's a governmental fund instead of a proprietary fund, and that's because we are getting more property taxes than we do for income off the campground. So when that happens, you have to reclassify. And with that reclassification, we combined our fund budgets for the park, the campground, and the rec center into one big lump sum budget this year.
Makes sense.
I was like,
Do that, $2 million increase.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, so that would be why. Thank you. And then the other portion, the other thing that we did was we restructured our categories, so that within the income and the expenses for simplification, so it's easier to understand the categories where our money is coming in, where it's being spent. So that's where you'll see some of, on pages 1 through 5. Where there's some big holes, like there's big left gaps because of there's a bunch of categories that have nothing in them. And that's because we reclassified and added those other classifications in there so that it's easier to understand, and you can just look at our budget notes and go, okay, this category, these line items are in that, this is what makes sense. The next thing that we did was on our income side, under our available cash, we did add our local government investment pool funds as part of the cash for transparency. So it doesn't look like, okay, we budgeted just a very small amount of cash, but then 2 years later, when you're looking at the actuals, you go, okay, wait a minute, you had 2 million in cash. Where's the difference here? So that is there. And then on the salary side, there is a 5% increase over last year. And that is because this year, the minimum wage was increased by 5%. So we're proposing a 5% increase to keep up with that minimum wage increase this year.
You're saying our total wages are going to go up by 5%?
When they just went up last year. Yeah, with the raises we gave.
That
Yes,
50 cents ends up being 5%?
it's not 50 cents this year. They did a 70-cent increase on the minimum wage. It is 5% is what they did.
No kidding.
Yeah, they just released that within the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, we just got that notification that they did increase it.
Okay.
So minimum wage here starting July 1 will be $13.20.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So on page 1, our overall. Actually, it flows over to page 2 because of the differences. So we do have to keep those categories that don't have anything on them for 3 years until they go off and have nothing. And then it'll shrink back up, but our overall fund amount that we are budgeting is $4,595,570, and that is because of the combination. Because if you go and look at page 4, you will see the rec center has nothing on it. There's nothing proposed for that fund because it is included in this park fund.
Oh, on the, okay. The cash on hand and all that.
Yeah.
So for the same thing, you'll for 3 years, you'll be putting
Yeah.
this out, Phil.
Yes, exactly. We have to keep putting that out there until it's completely zeros all the way across.
So
And then you'll see on page 3, our resources that we're anticipating, it does match. It's the $4,595,570 just to offset our our requirements. Does anybody have any questions about any of the pages so far?
I just have that question about the favorable cash on hand, but you explained it.
And all of these categories that are on these pages, they do get explained in further detail once we get back on page 8. That's where all of our budget notes are. and it does give more detail for the line items that are included in those categories. Like I said, page 4 is the rec center, because we've combined that, there's nothing there for this year. Page 5 is our geo bond and our debt service. So it does show that we are anticipating $920,499 as the budgeted amount for this year between the cash on hand, the transfer that we do from the general fund into it to cover the loan payment from Bank of EO, as well as the property taxes that we would be. Pages 6 and 7 cover our reserve accounts. You'll see that we have a reserve account for our electrical and lighting, one for equipment, one for the pay dock that we have down here for the boat dock, and then one for the park expansion that we hope to do hopefully soon. Does anybody have any questions on those?
Wait, so with the park expansion reserve, the cash on hand. Separate from what you showed us on page.
Yes. Yes, the cash on hand that is in the reserves, it's separate from the cash on hand that is for operating. These are monies that are set aside completely separate.
So that would basically be like 3 million.
Can you tell me where maybe I just missed it. Where's you see how we have a $1 million line item for future projects under capital outlay?
Yes.
And that's obviously one of the main reasons we're up $1 million on that capital outlay.
Go to page, so it starts at the bottom of page 13. And it goes to page 14. So future projects, when you put it, the $1 million, it's kind of the catch-all to offset that
Okay,
extra
that's what I
cash
was
that we
wondering.
have. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, so if there's something that we do that's a capital outlay that doesn't fall in any of these other categories, you could put it in there for that next.
it's also the slush fund for if we don't get enough money, we're not spending that money, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all right, gotcha.
Does anybody have any other questions?
What were our overnight fees for this year? Was it over 550?
For this year?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, hard.
So we're budgeting the same as last year.
So as of right now, because we're not to our busy season yet, okay, we are at 261,460 as of the end of March. But that does not include April, May, and June, which are some of the beginning part of our busy months.
When did I can't remember, when did we raise the prices? Was that before the beginning of last year, or was that in
It
the?
was at the beginning of last year.
That figure you're reading is earned.
Correct. We have a ton in unearned, correct? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, and that's out of the budget or the packet from this one. Does anybody have any other questions? Thank you.
Well, once everybody's done your question, it says budget committee votes with the typical budget and then you can decide there.
Well, the final end up going down.
And it's more trying to take a motion from the budget committee.
Yes, they did.
Thought machine?
Yeah, and then.
No, the tribal income, it's only now, it's 9,000.
The policy.
Yeah, no, it's 9,000, which is actually, that's actually still more than what we've ever charged, than what we charged in.
So last year we budgeted 65. So the thing popped is now 40. Yeah, everything looks like it's going.
It went down to reflect more of what
What
we
actually?
actually intend. Yeah, last year we budgeted high in hopes that we would bring in more, which we have brought in more than years past, right?
Mhm.
not as.
You don't wanna go over it so
Yeah.
much, okay?
Would you rather that we purchase the vehicle for George's to use this year or next year?
If I had to choose, I would wait till next year. I mean, I don't think we really need it right now. I would rather see us purchase a Gator. Another Gator instead.
I'm looking at you. I know, for like, here,
Mhm.
oh,
Yeah,
You can't have enough of those.
no, right now our maintenance and our campground are gonna be fighting over it.
Yeah.
That's been a fight for the last 2 years, so.
Yeah.
Well, the campground one just sits there most of the time.
During the day it does, but Sean, sorry, the campground manager does use it more than previous campground managers.
Well, they use it to go down where they clean the restrooms,
Correct.
or if they're cleaning the fire pits and all the spaces. But that's usually first thing in the morning. Other than that, it's just pretty much been sitting there. We might do something a little different.
Get,
like a schedule.
it would get more use come high camping season,
Yeah,
I would think. Especially if you go down to check on. The they use area a lot,
Yeah, they have, when they have overflow, they'll be escorting people down there.
yeah.
I don't know, so far it hasn't been used very much, just been sitting there though.
We're on downtime. So the youth program grant,
Does anybody on the budget committee have questions? No, when you guys ready? Okay.
Norma, are you good? Or do you still have questions on the budget?
no, I think I'm good. Yeah,
Can I get a motion and a second? I'd like to make a motion that we approve the 23-24 Parks and Rec budget as presented with some changes. Second.
I'm second.
Thank you.
The budget committee, the budget has been accepted for 2023-2024.
Gotta vote.
So
You
I-
need
Go
to
ahead,
vote.
need to vote. We need to ask for a vote.
Oh, shoot, sorry. Can we vote? Yeah, all in favor? Aye. As the proposal has been accepted for the 2023-2024. I adjourn the meeting. Right.
Yes, you're good. Yeah, thank you, Louise. I appreciate you stepping in on that.
I knew what I was
You
doing.
know, Congress, they got,
Right.
No.
we're passing budget, look at Nancy Pelosi.
That's why we put it on there. It needs to be done, right?
Thank
Wait, wait,
you.
wait,
Yeah,
I like
right.
the new format of the way you do the.
What?
But he doesn't know how to read, so.
No.
Just kidding.
You're out? Well, thank you for coming.
Hey, bye.
Thank you. You guys have a good night. Stay safe.
Bye, have a good night.
Oh, let me grab your guys' report.
Well, that's good to have people read stuff, so.
We saw that.
You did a great job.
Oh, yeah, you did great. You did awesome.
It's all right. Norma's your spell checker.
I think he had.
No, I checked him.
Mama, did you get a?
You can talk, you guys want me to go talk to
No,
Rick?
just got this.
We are
But it's okay, I'm.
the regular board meeting at 6:21. And I'm gonna definitely thank Louise for stepping in on the budget chair. I appreciate you doing that. So let's go ahead and get Louise sworn in so he can sit at the big table.
His voice.
Yeah.
Since we're all districts and like each other, I am not all district business. So I can take some time.
All right, I'm gonna, hold on, just a sec, let me finish his, what are we on, 25th today?
Yes.
Yes. April. April 2, 3. All right, Luis. Stand, my dear. All right. And I, Luis Campos, do solemnly swear
Luis Campos solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
Can you read that again?
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America.
I support,
That I will support
I support
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
of the United States of America
of the United States of America
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Oregon
and the state of Oregon
and the laws thereof,
and the laws of thereof,
and will faithfully
faithfully,
and honorably perform
honorably perform
the duties of director
the duties of director
in and for the county and state
in the county and state
aforesaid to which
of said to which
I have been appointed
I have been appointed to
to the best of my ability,
the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you very much.
Hey, where you guys at?
And right
That
there
on
for me.
Zoom.
Thank you.
Thank
Did
you.
that on-
You
did it-
guys have a good night. Thanks again.
Thanks, Mike.
You got sworn in on Zoom, right?
Did we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't do it all at once.
Hey,
It was
before it
so
goes-
awkward.
Yep.
That means you have to root for the real soccer team, not the next.
Well, I do anyways. Don't ask me how I did another committee. Shelby, do you have an extra pen by any chance?
They're,
On my
they're-
desk.
just grab one. Yeah.
All right, congratulations, Louise.
You wanna thank anybody?
All right.
I would like a rehearsal next time.
I'm gonna try my first one.
Have a chance to review the minutes of the previous meeting on March 21st.
Oh, sure.
I only have one little tiny typo and then one question on the last page. So the very last page, Shelby, and I don't remember it, I just want to know if it really was, I'm assuming you took it right off the tape, but we were supposed to appoint him on April 4th? The meeting on April
That's,
4th?
that's what you guys originally had talked about,
Okay,
but
I don't remember that.
yeah,
it,
Okay.
yeah, so
I
I
didn't
can,
remember it, and so it's like, oh.
that wasn't what you guys originally had talked about during
Okay.
that session.
Okay. All right, and then on, oh gosh, it's down under the regular board meeting was called to order at 6 p.m. And then there's the attendance, and then the
Yes.
first paragraph, second paragraph, where it says Krista Price presented the February 28th board meeting minutes.
Ah.
February.
Minus, we did minus that day, minus.
If anybody else has any comments,
I
please
just
state.
had the Leadership Academy. I can't remember. I stated that I was okay with it. As well as she thought, I don't know how to read that.
Where is that?
On page, oh shit, regular board meeting was called to order at 5:16 p.m. After,
Oh, I think you're on April 4th. We're on,
oh, are we still back up here?
yeah, that's okay. We're
Yeah.
on,
I don't see that one yet.
Okay, whoops, sorry.
I would support a motion to approve the 3/21/2023 minutes.
I need a motion to approve the 3/21/23 meeting minutes
With the
with
changes.
the changes.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Like,
Aye.
All right. Hey Shelby, do you have a packet I can have?
Yeah, we can copy this one really quick.
No, big one, members, like.
or we can give them a tablet. Where's those tablets?
I don't even know where they're at. That I don't.
I know mine now.
They disappeared. They have the boxes in the office.
I don't want one tablet, it should be.
Dang it, I should have done one that way.
Don't know where they went.
Yeah, no worry. Has the board read the April 4th minutes?
Yeah,
Do you have any comments?
well, I just, yeah, where it says that I stated that she was okay with it as well as she felt the employee asking for the training where managers that are in leadership. I have no idea how to read that. I feel like I said that I'm okay with it, but I feel like the managers.
Maybe the word instead of well, maybe long should have been the right word, as long as she felt the employees asking for training were managers. that-
Yeah, okay,
I
yeah.
think maybe that word well should be long.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to read that. I was like, wait, I don't think I said that.
Yeah, we can change that.
Okay.
Do you have any other changes to that board? Don't expect Louise to read through that real quick, so. I would take a motion if that was okay with you guys.
I move that we accept the April 4th meeting note. A minute. I presented with that one change. On Norma's statement.
Thank you. We have a second.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I move that we accept the April 13th minutes as presented. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And no worries, Shelby, just whenever you're ready. We're on the financials already.
You guys are too fast.
No worries, though. You're fine.
Well, thank you, John.
On page 8. Oh, don't keep that on for yourselves. Page 8.
Okay, so the financial. The rec center currently has 39,520.49 in their operating and banners. The park has 34,816.98 at the banner bank. And then. The LGIP operating for the park. So Norma, this is the cash that you were talking about in the budget. So right now we are at 2,255,689.53. That is operating money that we can pull from if needed.
Okay.
And then the rec center is at 62,215.01 in their LGIP operating that we can pull from. Are there any questions on that?
Thank goodness for the LGIP. I feel like we're super skinny.
Yep,
Oh, we earn interest when it's in the pool,
Yeah.
so why not earn interest?
yep.
I agree.
Okay, the next 3 pages are. The loan amortization schedules. We are getting ready to come up on a. GL bonds payment that will take place on 6/15. That will be $489,068.75 that will be wired out. So.
513. Isn't it 513?
Yeah,
Oh,
513.
Sorry, I grabbed 22s. Yeah,
Oh,
513.
Wait a minute, what are you guys at 513?
It's on page 9. It's super cheap of me. I tried highlighting and then scanning it to you guys and it doesn't.
Cause maybe it's 22, right? Or
Yeah, fine. I was looking at 22. I'm a year behind. Apparently.
well, I was in the same thing. I see 6/15, 2023.
Yeah, 6/15/2023. We're gonna pay out 5/13. We're at 60.
Oh, okay.
I was
Oh my gosh,
looking
I'm so
at-
confused. I thought you meant the date 5/13.
No. And then the loan payment for the boat dog will be coming up. On 6/1, we are going through and billing for this year's mortgages, so that will be coming up for soon to make too. There's no questions on those. First up is the statement of revenues and expenditures for the whole organization for the month of March. Total revenue at the bottom of page 12 for March was $94,296.04. This was for the whole organization, so park, for the rec and the. Total expenditures is on page 14 was 133,144.20. So we had a net loss in March of 44,848.16.
It's hard to hear them.
Total yearly. That we have is a total
Black,
Yeah, the total in the black. I'm.
188.
Yes, of 188, 48, 93. So that we have a total income, total.
Why are we in the? Why are we in the red?
For the month,
Yeah,
March,
is it
we
anything
still,
weird or?
it's nothing weird. It's the normal. March, we still have a lot of long termers. Or extended stays in the park, and you don't earn as much on the extended stays as you do our dailies. So that's where the income difference is gonna be in the park.
The weather keeps getting nicer, we're gonna have a lot more people.
Yeah, this last weekend was our first day that the campground was completely full, and we had one person already down in overflow.
Oh, good,
So that was on Saturday.
good, all right. Okay,
Okay, total income for the park for March was 51,745.30. Total expenditures, which is on page 17, was 64,426.83. So we did have a net loss of 12,681.53. But like I said, that's the normal for winter months. Just because we have most of the extended stays.
the plus is the 598 next to it.
Yes, yes. Overall, for that year to date, for the park, we're at 598, 186.34 for net income. Next up is the balance sheet for the park. If you look at the unearned revenue, so it's the third one from the bottom on the total liabilities. It shows we have $441,030.12. That is sitting in unearned revenue. That's money we've taken in for stays that have not been completed yet this year.
So between now and June 30th, right?
Well, it's through and it's through September, so we'll earn probably
Oh.
about half of that in the next
Okay.
couple of months. So.
It's crazy to think that we can earn that much.
There's no questions on that. Next up is the budget to actual. This is through last Thursday. I believe it was the 19th or the 20th. So it shows our total year-to-date income that we've brought in. Keep in mind, this does show the property tax. 1,361,725 through 2. Total expenditures is at 800,680.06. So that does give us, as of last Thursday, and total income, net income of 561,3696. Pages 21, 22, and 23 show the bank account activity for the park. Do we have any questions on any of that?
What was that Cornell company?
That was so that's the painting and the blind installation and all of that on the rest, guys.
What did they do in there? Everything.
They had to completely repaint the whole inside, the whole interior. They put new blinds in. We had somebody come in and clean the carpet and all of that.
That same company.
No. Different company did the carpets and cleaned the residence. It was painting.
So that was the painting and the sluts.
Mhm.
So where are they at? In Cornell? Or where they at?
That's Connell Company. They're out of here.
Out of Boardman?
There's no other questions on that. The next page 24, This is the stats on the cash basis, so. For March, we brought in $64,096 for just straight cash for revenue or. Straight cash for reservations in the campground. And then we had 1,053 nights occupied in March.
Is what we have out there right now in campers, is that normal for a Tuesday?
Right now, yeah,
Okay,
once we get
like our busy are on the weekends, like Friday or Thursday through Sunday.
until about mid-May, and then it's gonna get busy to where it's pretty full,
Like
even during
all-
the week.
Yeah, okay.
I can remember when 64,000 was a total for a year.
Right.
The olden days.
There's no other questions on the park. We'll move on to the pool. Total revenue for March on page 25 was 42,550.74. Total expenditures on page 26 is 74,717.37, which gives us a net loss of 32,166.63. And as you'll see, the negative in the next column, the 410,137.41, that's why it only shows the 188 for the year for the organization.
All right, thank you.
Next up is the balance sheet. I will point out on here that the unearned revenue for memberships at the rec center is at $66,043.20. So that is unearned revenue that is sitting there that will be moved over as the memberships are completed.
Not enough though.
Not enough, no. Pages 29 and 30 are through Thursday last week.
Shelby,
Yes.
what's the time frame on the
balance sheet.
the unearned revenue for the rec center?
So that shows anything so somebody comes in and buys a annual pass today,
Yeah,
it will go in there until clear through next year. So even when we do
Gotcha.
our end of year, it'll be a carryover.
That's
It's a
terrible.
constant carryover.
it's a horrible bookkeeping.
So,
I mean, it's not like words. But that's horrible on you.
Yeah.
I guess is that's horrible to do to you.
It was much easier when everything was
Right?
cash.
Yeah.
Right?
If we got it, we counted it as income.
I seem to remember going through that when we crossed over it.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, oh, that's gonna be terrible on you. So thank you for reminding me how terrible it is.
I will say luckily, we do have a system that makes it easier.
There you go.
Yeah, we do have a system that does make it easier, so it's not all manual
Okay.
anymore, so. Okay, so on page 29, year to date, this is through last Thursday, total income for the rec center is 389,550.68. Total expenditures, 818,637.29, so that does give us a net loss for the rec center of 429,86.61. So we paid special districts twice. We pay special districts multiple times, because we have multiple things through them. We have our health insurance, we have our liability insurance, work comp. All of those insurances are through them. And then we also just did the consulting services, so. And that went on the park. Yeah, but there's still things that the rec center covers.
Remind me again about the 130. The transfer out for debt service.
That is the 130 that we transfer out
Oh,
of
for the big,
for the bank
yeah,
VO loan.
okay,
Yep.
that's why it looks.
Yeah, there's
worse
only a
than it
couple
is.
of years left on it.
Yeah.
And then once that goes away, it'll.
Yeah.
But that's why a lot of it does look so bad because you have the 130. So
Next year, we won't have this at all.
you'll
Right?
still have it, but it'll show as a organizational one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We won't have the pool.
Separate.
Yeah.
I mean, I can still pull reports if you guys really want to see how it looks. But generally you'll get just a whole organization report. So pages 31 to 35 is the bank account activity for the pool. Are there any questions on that? There are no questions on that. 36 and 37 show the scans. So March for this year, we had 4,365 people in there, and then we move it down a little bit. Last year, we had 4,835 in there. What do you were? A lot.
Alrighty, and I would take a motion to approve the financials as presented.
We'll make a motion to approve the financial, that's the one.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Right.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Alrighty, so we are moving into old business. The district policy updates, table for completion of pay equity analysis project.
So I have gotten some information on that. They just sent it to me yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to really dig in and look at it. It is going to be a lot of information, and I don't think you guys are gonna want to sit through it for a regular board meeting. You're gonna want to go through it during a workshop. So something to keep in mind. You know, you guys have had a lot of meetings for the last month. So if you have a time frame of when you'd like to do that, that would be.
Honestly, I'd rather put it at
Do you
5
guys-
o'clock on the next board meeting, but that's just me. I'll let the rest of the board chime in on that.
What is that?
May 23rd.
Yeah, the Tuesday before Memorial Week.
Sorry. Me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it should be good for me too.
David, what about you? You think? Would that work for you?
Try to get to now. May 23rd. At 5 o'clock.
Shelby, you
Yeah.
are welcome to send out whatever the information is ahead of time. That way, when we get there, it's just that much less to review, less to discuss, so. So just whenever you get a chance over the next month to send it out, that'd be great, but yeah, let's shoot for that.
Okay.
If something changes, we'll let you know, if that's all right.
Yep, that works.
You might have to remind us all, but.
I can do that.
All right, and Shelby, I don't know that the board knows about the employment of Baron Liebman for the background checks. I'll let you tell us.
So at the last meeting, you guys had asked that we reach out to SDAO and the employment attorneys regarding the background checks. So we reached out to SDAO, had them look over the two different versions of policies that we had kind of floating around up there. They highly recommended that we talk with our employment attorneys regarding how we set up our policies and what we decide to do with that, because the EOC comes in and there's a lot of different things at play. So I reached out to Baron and Lehman regarding their help on establishing these policies, and they sent over kind of a quote, and for $2,500 said that they could help us with the forms, they can help us build a matrix on how decisions are made regarding if there is a red flag that comes back. Because if there is a red flag, we do have to allow people to kind of give an example or a reason as to why that red flag is there. We can't just say, oh, nope, we can't employ you. Like if there's a red flag or there's something, they have to have an opportunity to tell us.
And not to interrupt you, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's not even that they were gonna help us, they're gonna do it for us. Okay, so they're
Yeah.
gonna do all the forms for Shelby,
Yep.
they're gonna have the matrix in line. There's nothing to think about, this is an employment attorney and they're going to do it all for us.
Yep.
So that we can finally say we're done with this.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I
So
was.
is that
yes.
was on? Did we already pay them then? 18,000,
have-
Will be.
What?
the 18,000?
That was for all of the previous district managers.
Previous
Employment.
Yeah. We haven't, we haven't received a bill yet for the 25.
No, because they're still working on that.
Okay.
They just actually sent me documentation today. I didn't want to pop it on you guys. So, because it was just the forms and then the proposed policy. She's still working on the matrix and all of that, but we will have that at the next meeting to go.
Yeah, the good thing is, and send that out ahead of time,
Yeah.
but the good thing is that by our May meeting, we should be able to vote on that. In fact,
Yes.
we'll want to make sure we put that,
Yeah, I'll-
continue to keep that on our,
Yep.
yeah. We'll be able to at least have it and approve it and have it in force for new employment after that point.
Yep.
It's not even new employment. We can background check our current employees too, correct?
we can,
You have to do a ball, don't you?
yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't just pick and choose.
Just saying, at least we have them in place. We've been messing with this for freaking 2
over
years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this company's gonna do it all
Yep.
for us, and I think that's a pretty inexpensive thing, especially knowing that they're, number one, they are our attorneys anyway,
correct.
for employment matters, and so we know that they have our back on knowing that this is the right thing to do and what, and, yeah. So I think we're gonna be good.
Yeah, so that's the update on that.
Resolution 2023-003. Lynn, do you wanna go over that again? With Lynn?
I have heard nothing from the CRES board. They have not returned my request for additional information, even a judgment by them. So I have no further info.
Okay, how is the resolution currently written? Because I thought it said that it was gonna go to the GO bond.
Yep.
As it currently stands.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Okay. How's the board feel about that? What do you wanna, so in the minutes, it stated last time that we were discussing the fact that. What's his name, David, or. What's the guy we
Greg
consulted with? No, at the bond.
Oh, David Albert.
Yeah, Albert, yeah. He said that there was nothing that he could see that
Prevented us
prevented us
from using it to pay the Bank of Eastern Oregon
versus the
payment,
GO
which was on the construction of the rec center.
versus the GO bond, so. The Perez board is the one who said they wanted it towards the GO bond, correct? So how does the board feel about that? The resolution is currently written for it to go to the GO bond.
Which means we would get less money, we would levy less money in taxes to pay the GO bond.
How much is the payment again? I don't have it in front of me.
It was
79,343.55.
So we're looking at applying it towards an interest loan. Or applying it towards the GO bond. Which reduces the taxpayers. Contribution.
And they haven't gotten back to it.
I have, oh,
Is this money we get every year?
what?
Or do we get the gift every year?
No,
It was just a special,
And how long would it
Gifting.
reduce the taxpayers?
how much?
Like how much?
Yeah, no,
How much
like whether it's a penny or whether it's $5, I don't know.
oh, it'd be
It'd be minimal,
minimal,
yeah.
very
It's
little,
not
yeah.
even Worth it.
If we put it towards the banking yield, that would actually save us money.
It saves, yeah, interest on the loan. Pays it down quicker. I'm on the fence, so I'm looking for your guys' input, please.
We could kick it down the road for another month
That's what I.
and hope that I'd hear back from Sweek or somebody.
Well, it's just alarming to me that they won't even really say yay, nay. I mean, that's just not good business, not to respond to people.
I agree.
Reaching out to you.
I
I mean, if they're not gonna respond to us and we give them another month. I think we use it to pay the BNPO. Like, we give you 2 months to give us some clarification, you chose not to communicate with us.
Yeah, I'd rather go one more month, because then it's still in our fiscal year, right? So.
Yeah.
we-
I don't really wanna
Yeah.
get them mad at us,
Even though they
I
did
don't
say they,
either.
No,
but,
no, it didn't include a contingency, right?
Hmm?
It didn't include a contingency. I mean, on where to use it, right? Is that what they said?
they said to use it for a geo bond.
Yeah, the way that the documents were sent out, it was broken out by a certain amount went towards just our normal park fund. And then the other was listed under geo bonds, and we weren't the only district that was hit that way.
Okay, and they didn't specify.
It's not that they didn't, I mean, maybe they didn't know we had other service debt. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's where we wanted the clarification. If we're applying it to debt, period. Can we apply it to a debt that has interest versus one that is the geo bond? So
Okay.
that's all we're asking for clarification on.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and table that then and just ask that Lynn try to reach out to them just maybe a couple more times.
I will.
And we'll reach out next month and see where we're at that time. Oh, that's mine. District manager position update. So when was our meeting? I think I just ditched the
The 19th.
19th, last
Yep.
Wednesday. So last Wednesday, we came out of. Do I have it there? So we had an executive session, we came out of executive session. Apologize, I'll just read it. We reconvened our public meeting at 7:10 PM. With the community member panel being dismissed in the executive session prior to reconvening the public meeting. In attendance at 7:10 were our board members and the Terry Dresser with CIO Consulting Services, and David moved to offer the district manager position to the applicant George Scheimer, subject to a satisfactory background check. John seconded the motion and the motion passed unanimously. So George is going to be our new district manager. He has signed can you go ahead and get that with Shelby? He signed a commitment to us to start work on June 15th. Like I said, subject to the background check and an employment agreement that will be coming.
Should hope he passes that. I wouldn't want to be acting chief beater if he doesn't.
So welcome, George. And that's it for that, unless anybody has any questions on that particular topic. No, all right. New business resolution 2023-004 for the bank signers. Lynn, can you go ahead and read that one? I don't have it in front of me.
Be it resolved that the board of directors for the Boardman Park and Recreation District hereby resolve that a meeting of the board of directors of the district duly and regularly called and held on the 25th day of April 2023, at which a quorum was present and voting adopted the following resolution. Resolved that whereas Boardman Park and Rec District has established several bank accounts at Banner Bank, which require 2 authorized signatures on each check. And whereas Rebecca Hall is no longer the district manager and has been replaced with interim district manager Lynn Prank. And whereas George Scheimer is no longer a board member and has been replaced with board member Luis Campos, therefore be it further resolved that as of May 1st, 2023, any 2 of the following board members or 1 board member and 1 employee are authorized to sign on each Banner Bank account. Such account shall be binding upon Boardman Park and Rec District board members Krista Price, Dave Ford, John Christie, Norman Ayala, and Luis Campos, employees Lynn Prey, adopted this 25th day of April 2023.
I would take a motion to approve resolution 2023-004.
I moved that we approve resolution 2023-004.
I'll second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We're all unanimous on that one.
We need to sign it, yeah?
Would you? Yep.
You want to see one?
Shelby, do you have one that's
That one was not-
labeled?
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one doesn't. The one I gave Norman doesn't. I was gonna say, wait a minute, I know I just said it. I gave it to you and I already forgot that I gave it to you.
Alrighty, and did everybody get a chance to read through Lynn's report? I have a couple questions on that, so if everybody's read through it, then am I okay asking? All right. Number one. Don't look at me like I'm some bureaucratic here, okay? I'm just asking only because I've talked to several people who have been hired at state levels, and it's just incredible the amount of, I'm going on record saying this, ridiculous training certs that they have to have in order to be a state employee, for instance. There's one where they have to take a certification saying that they know how to drive on gravel roads. Not
You're
kidding.
kidding.
No, but if you think about it, people who grow up in this city
Yeah.
probably don't know how to drive on gravel roads. There's also one about how to pull a trailer. Because, you know, whether it's a utility trailer or, you know, a 16-footer, people just may not be as qualified as Eastern Oregon or rural Oregon, I should say.
Yeah,
So,
rural,
um,
or rural California, right, Brad?
right, or rural California. So, so my question is relating to the welding. So I
Yes.
do see that we bought a wire feed welder.
Yes,
Is there anything that, let me just say it, instead of asking the question, maybe I could just say, perhaps we could document in the personnel file for whoever is using those welders, that they do or don't have some form of training on how to actually use it.
Brad, you want to speak to that?
Okay, so I've been in welding for 30 years. I mean, I don't have any certifications, but there's nothing that I don't know how to weld. I mean, as
What about your employees?
have anybody on staff that knows how.
Well, okay,
It's just me.
It said we have 2 experience.
yeah, it says we have two.
He says he knows how to stick, but not MIG. And that's what we bought the wire feeder, the MIG.
He told me he could wire feed too.
Okay, so that's, I guess that is that's my point, is that make sure, just for liability reasons, just for insurance reasons, that if we're gonna have people operating things that can literally do some huge damage to themselves, that they know how to, that they know to put on their helmets, they know how to use their gloves, they know how to use the equipment that they're being taught to use, I guess, is what
So
I'm,
retouch on that for you is I'm the only one that has been using it.
okay,
And I do have all the safety equipment and I'm not using it with anybody in the shop. That way they don't watch the
right,
art and burn their eyes.
great. All right, and then, Lynn, if you can follow up on the vinyl planks in the residence. I am really hoping we are gonna be able to do that, because I think that's a good move and a good investment.
I did another Brad
I'll
question.
installing it.
Okay, did you get a bid by chance, Val?
We're waiting for it to come in hopefully tomorrow.
Okay,
The lady I've been working with went on vacation Monday and Tuesday, so I'm gonna be back tomorrow and I should have a solid answer.
okay. I mean, I know we're looking at a huge bill, don't get me wrong, I know that, but I think it'll be worth it. We paid out, we pay out an astronomical amount and just cleaning it, and nobody should have to live with certain smells, so, I think that vinyl plank flooring is a good idea, and we can
I
easily,
put it in my house and
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised. I was prepared not to like it.
Right.
But I really liked it. I thought I wanted tile, which I had before. This has give to it. It's much nicer to be on.
Nice.
I like it.
LVP, it's luxury vinyl planking.
Oh,
It's what they're putting in all the new houses, even over on Rome.
So we'll be spendy, so be prepared for that, but I think that that is a good move, which we would have had it in there prior. Any other questions on Lynn's report? Thank you for working with the chamber on the 4th to help that go smoothly. I appreciate that. That's really nice of Doug Hope as well. Go pick up those kayaks. Can't
Oh,
tell you
yeah.
how happy I am that you're ordering new shirts.
Yes,
too,
that's what I was gonna say right now. Oh my gosh.
Right?
Because I walk into the rec center, I don't know who's who, and then I see walking to the back counter, I'm like, oh, she works here, okay, no idea. Cause they're not wearing a shirt, so I love that,
Well, the campground's getting them too,
yeah,
which I'm really
Yeah.
glad. They needed them,
yeah.
like really
I mean,
bad.
haven't they always had one? Haven't they always had shirts?
Make sure you get the good ones, not those heavy.
Well, yes,
super
but they
cotton.
have,
No,
we
these
have
are-
new employees that don't have shirts yet.
Yeah, okay.
well, here
So-
too.
Yeah. Yeah, our maintenance crew needed new stuff too, like updated stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So everybody's.
Yeah.
paying
You're getting like
shirts.
a cotton poly blend, like something that's soft
It's
and,
actually just straight up polyester that's a wicking.
oh, okay.
Yep.
All right.
Shelby brought in some of her previous shirts.
Yeah.
Cause I was going for the 60-40 blend.
Yeah.
And when she brought hers in, it was 60-40, and she said it's so hot,
Yeah,
we don't
okay.
want this, so I switched the order. So it's polyester, and it feels very nice.
All right. That's great.
Before we go on to the next report, and we go back to new business, because we skipped over my little bit.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to add. Yep.
You're a
Excuse me.
little, you're a little squiggly mark. I'm so sorry.
I think when. This. What we're asking our head honcho to do. I think that district manager kind of. Sounds
That's
too
it.
much like manager. I want a CEO, chief executive officer, and we want the, or. Or Lynn, in the meantime, go. And talk to people about money. District manager. I think a more professional title for what we're asking that person to do is CEO. I think this gives them just a little, I mean, if I'm CEO at Lamb Weston, I don't want to talk to a district manager, because I want to talk to the CEO.
Right.
It's just a very good thing.
Yeah, I don't wanna talk to managers either.
I agree.
So can I make an a suggestion just to think about too?
Mhm.
So if you check with all of our other special districts, very few of them use CEO as their top. Most of them are an executive director. It's very similar, but the CEO generally is the one that comes up with the direction and kind of vision. They're not normally the one that actually implements it and does that.
We don't, but we are asking that person to. do
Right,
the
that's where the
direction,
executive
so-
director, that even though it's just a title change, it's just. That executive director is the one that does it all, like they do that.
We just don't wanna hear it.
CEO is so much easier. Um,
But it is executive director for like nonprofit organizations mostly.
No, the port's head, she's an executive director.
Yeah, because for example, we're changing Corey's title to CEO also. For that same reason, what he just said.
Cause she is the.
You know, with either one, I don't really
Director.
care. I just think that. When you say district manager, then we have all these other managers, it just sounds like they're all kind, and they're not the same level.
yeah. What is our entity? What type of entity are we?
We are similar to a municipality, essentially.
I prefer CEO, that's just me, but
Yeah.
we'll entertain you guys think about it and then.
If special districts has any thoughts on that?
They might. I just know when you look at the job descriptions versus a CEO and an executive director or a managing director, there are differences. And your CEO is generally not the person that is in charge of implementing and getting your operations to follow the vision.
It says
Well,
the chief executive officer, the highest ranking person in a company or other institution, ultimately responsible for making managerial decisions.
So he's in charge of you guys
Mhm.
implementing that.
Yeah, is in charge of the management of an organization.
So
Yeah, so.
I think we ought to check with special districts.
when the girl didn't say anything when she mentioned us that we wanted
Yeah,
to do that.
she didn't.
So, she would have if it would have been the right shoe.
Right. We can't do anything on it right now anyway, but,
Oh, okay.
but yeah, I can ask Terry, but she would have said something to me if we,
Did you bring it up to her?
yeah. Yep, so, all right, so put that on the. We have to move it to old business now,
Yeah.
on the next week.
Maze.
And we add that. We post everything on Thursday or Friday, right, for the Tuesday meeting.
Anywhere between Tuesday and Thursday, depending
I
on
would
when I
like-
can get everything done.
See the agenda. A day, and I know that. I just like to, so if there's something we need to add and act on, it gets added before we post it. Or 72 hours.
Right.
Because. Going forward, I mean, you just can't, if it's not on the agenda we post, we can't do anything about it. We can talk about it.
Right.
So I would like to see the agenda a day earlier. Before, at least before we're gonna post it, so, and if we don't look at it, then we're bound to it, but. It just gives us that flexibility of adding something if something's coming up.
Yeah, she's doing the best she can,
We
she's,
used to send them.
she's
to us,
been,
right?
yeah, she's.
I remember.
She's
I
normally
Very-
been trying about a
very-
week ahead of time,
Yeah,
but she's been, yeah, she's doing her best. The good thing is that. We'll put it on next month's and, George is not. Scheduled to start until June 15th anyway, so I think we'll still have time to make it and. Reflect that in the. Input agreement. All right, thank you, David, for pointing that out. And I do on that. Back to. The other reports, did you all have a chance to review the other reports as well? Oh, perfect. Does anybody have any questions on them? I guess is the more important thing.
So I just wanna know why the locks, the keyboard pads are being removed,
What?
the keyboard locks on the bathrooms.
We had several people, employees and customers, who got locked in. And they had been problematic, and I said, jerk them off.
Okay. Yeah, but I just
Yeah.
walked in there, I was able to just walk in there without putting any numbers in.
Well, as long as we don't have vagrants who are going in there, or people who are going in to cause damage. I don't see what difference it makes.
Yeah.
they were put on last summer or last winter, 2 winters ago, because of the vagrants.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, we'll just watch it and see what happens. If we have problems, we'll put them back on. But meanwhile, they're a pain in the neck.
Well, we might, if we have to go back to them, we might wanna get something better.
Yes,
We put a radio in there, so if you get locked in.
Terrible, right? We don't want our patrons getting locked in the bathroom and well, I want our shit.
We can charge for that today.
little bitty window to get out.
Yeah, that would be bad, especially when it's
Yes.
100.
One thing I'll add is that we have 2 custodians now. The rec center, correct?
No,
not yet, no. We're
I thought we
in,
hired a night one.
We did, but we discontinued the contract waiver. So that we
Good.
could save costs, so we're interviewing tomorrow.
Good, because when we do get that second one, I need it to be that they wipe the lockers down at least every other day, because there's stuff left in lockers for 2, 3, 4 days at a time. It just drives me nuts. And I understand we're slow staff, but once we get that person, that new night person needs to wipe. the
Or hire
lockers
for
down.
day shift or night shift,
Okay,
just say what hours.
So if you're not 2 people,
It's, I mean, we could, let's, it's like, I think the one previously did 6:30 to 3:30 or 6 to 3:30.
I just. When you have a pair of underwear sitting in there for 3 days, it's just not a good look. And that tells me that we're probably not keeping our facility as clean as it needs to be. And I think I could, an old scripted guy like me, I could wipe every locker in that locker room down in less than an hour. It doesn't have to be done every day, but every other day.
The lifeguards usually help as well, but that's killing me. It's a
I
little-
get it. I said in the one time that something got left in the locker for almost 5 weeks.
Really?
That was long, that would last you, beef.
I'm very glad to see that you weld.
Good.
I'm just gonna say that.
I need some welding done.
It's very refreshing to see that we have a maintenance person that can weld. That is fantastic.
Boys already work over the equipment over at the rec center.
That's both.
Yeah, because we did away with our equipment maintenance on the project.
Yeah, so yeah, cause I never came, right?
Yeah.
Well, you had such a time getting them to come anyway.
So Ted went over with, you know what, I'm just really hoping great things.
Great things are happening right now.
Yeah, I mean, we just had such trouble with the lawn on the west side over there, looking terrible for 4th of July. And then we had tons of complaints on Main Street, so I'm just really glad Ted came and went over everything with Brad, so he has the ability to know, guess what, how Ted made it look the way he did in the first place, so.
Karen Pettigrew tells me that this probably will be the last year for the Main Street strip. That they're going to be putting in a center turn lane and the strip will be gone.
Okay.
I said, everybody will be thrilled to hear that down here. Because it's a pain trying to maintain that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything.
And one other thing, take over, always aware that there's a hole in the gym. Floor.
Oh,
Okay.
Was a gift, yeah. It just slips. That's that.
It needs a new coating over the floor. Once the floor is coated properly 4 times, which is a week's worth of work, that floor won't move ever again.
When do we have a tentative schedule on that?
We were discussing if we were gonna buy the equipment to do it ourselves, or if we're gonna have a company come out and do it. Either way, I mean, I have years and years of experience putting those floors down. And can do it all in-house. Just takes time and manpower.
Isn't that refreshing to hear?
Yeah, yeah. It really
And
is.
just so you guys are aware, if we wanna go in the in-house, it's a 7 to 8 day process that nobody can be in the gym or the aerobics room. So once the project's done, the floor has to sit with no activity on it for 72 hours.
But that's gonna be whether we do it in-house or out-house, correct?
Correct.
So I just figure out when the least active time is in that.
Yeah.
Probably not, it's gonna be in the summer, I would guess.
Monday.
7 to 8.
School starts.
It'd be 7 to 8 days.
That's
straight.
right at the beginning of when school starts.
Ridiculous.
Is the lowest time in
I
the,
bet it is.
I always used to do it on Thanksgiving break. Right before basketball season started.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions on the reports? Board, no? All right, thank you, managers. For those. Under other business, Does anybody have any other business? Otherwise, I'll go.
I do, I'm sorry, I just want the board's opinion. Stanfield High School graduating class of 2023 has their operation graduation. Maybe has approached us and they want to do a full facility rental on June 1st, which is a Thursday. To their graduate because they had to postpone their graduation. They wanted to do it from 10 PM to 6 AM, 20 to 25 students. Staffing wise, they're gonna bring at least 15 volunteers, and chaperones they'll provide all the food. I tried to do as much groundwork as I could. I was thinking they only want the pool for a short time. They want the pool between 10 PM and 12 AM. So I figured we'd have to have 4 18-year or older lifeguards, which I do have and can do that. I'm already on it. And then you don't need any front desk because the front desk does not need to be open. We're not selling concessions. They're providing all the food, the snacks, everything. And then miscellaneous staff, I just said that I could be on site in case of emergency or to help set up games, let people know where, and then we'd have like adult too. And it's the same kind of thing like our Operation Graduation does. It's that lock-in party. So once they're in, they're in. If they go out to their car, they're escorted.
I love that. I wish they could have done that last year.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to do, but
We could do anything else.
I didn't know how
Yeah.
to, the kids.
So I
Will
do
they be
understand,
using the rock climbing wall
we can have that open for a
for time?
time. I know how to do that fully. It's very easy. It's self-delaying, so it's very easy. There's no work that's involved. There's no what you have to have over it, just unhook and hooking them up. That's it. It's very, very simple. One person can man it, no problem. The only thing I'm worried about is that we would have to close our facility. So that means no 24-hour access to any of the patrons, which I think they would understand as long as we post it way in
Yeah.
advance. I love our new system called automation. I can email blast everybody, I think numerous times. And then we would just
Automatically lock that.
right, and I can do that. I can control it anywhere now.
What's your recommendation?
I think it's a great opportunity. I think we should do it.
I love
If-
it. I love it. That's what I would have wanted.
But I wanted to know your guys' opinion to make, see what you guys thought.
So from 10 o'clock at night to 6 in the morning, how many 24-hour access people do you get?
I could definitely into that.
I'd just be curious, I'm just curious, because I've never seen enough.
10.
It's a pretty easy thing for me to find. I could have that report for you tomorrow, no problem, because that's the one beauty with our new door system. This lock is like the scan shows me from the front door, so I can tell you exactly how many people are there.
And I'm still in support of giving it to
On a
a
Thursday.
graduate. I'd just be curious, I never have seen how many people come in the door during the month, but how many of them actually are coming in from
Right.
that time to 6 in the
Mhm.
morning?
Yeah. I mean, those are one of the main focus groups that we were trying to get in anyway, so I can't imagine not wanting to accept that, so just my opinion.
We think there are only gonna be 25 of them?
That's, it's Stanfield graduating class. She said there's only like 20, 25 max.
And you're getting them to fill out the whatever.
They already have
use
the
Permit thing.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they already have. I just told them that I couldn't give her an answer for sure if it was going to be. Wanted to make sure it was okay. With everyone, because I know that. I don't think.
I think it's a great
Yeah,
idea.
I think it is too.
Okay.
Consensus is good.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down to. Cannonball.
Volunteer.
So, two things. Number one, with the breach, okay, there wasn't a breach. Let me rephrase that. With the potential fraudulent email thing that came through. Okay, if you don't mind stressing to your managers, to stress to your employees, whoever has a computer or access to our computer, make sure that they are not using it for personal use. Okay, just stress that to them, that when they're working, they don't need to be on the internet from their work computer, if they're sitting at the front desk or if they're sitting at the booth.
If they're all working late. Yeah.
It's not work related, they shouldn't be on our computers, okay? You have your own money to buy your own laptops for your own personal use, but not district property. should not be used for personal use. That's my recommendation. And let me tell you why. You guys end up with a breach, okay? If you click on something, we're gonna probably subpoena everything that you have that's personal, that's gonna get wrapped into that. So unless you want your phones, and that are probably hooked to your email too, if you're checking your personal email on a district device, we have the ability then to pull your emails and everything that's related to that, just like we can get our personal emails from the board. So just remind people to try to keep their personal business off of our work devices, okay? Number two would be the importance of confidentiality. So I cannot stress enough how important it is as board members, especially with you coming on, Luis. I'll just remind you, because you're a new person to the board, that the matters that we discuss in executive session need to be kept confidential. We have an ethical duty to be bound by silence on anything that happens and is said in executive session. And truly, as it was pointed out to me, it just causes harm to the public if matters get out that was only meant for the board's ears. Okay, so the public trusts us to make good decisions. That's what we're doing, hope what we're doing. And I'm not going to go into further detail other than to say that it's super important, very, very important that we keep what is said in executive session between us. Okay, it's okay to tell people, I don't know, or I can't say, or I can't disclose because that was confidential. Oh, Shelby, if you can let me know when our applicant George Scheimer's background check comes in, that would be great, because I probably will not remember to check with you. So if you can let me know, that'd be great.
Yep.
It does, you might want to do a press release.
Right?
City of Boardman.
That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah, we're gonna put it out there with the big red letters and highlight. Is there any other business? If not, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So the only thing that George did ask me to make sure you guys saw,
And what is it?
it's a blood drive,
Where did, oh, give blood is a time.
give
One
blood,
yesterday, I was like, did I find?
Monday, June 26th at the rec center.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Where do you do that at? You go in the gym?
We do more of here.
We're in the pool.
Could you make me a copy of that? I'll make sure it goes in the paper.
Hello?
Oh, I do have one more thing, real quick. Sorry, real quick. Whatever, where I got this out of. I don't know. Well, it says by HR answer, so it must have been one of those SDAO things. That, you know, you literally look at and throw away. So
Not you, though.
not me, apparently, yeah. So I read this thing about, it says things successful supervisors do differently. And I'll just read the topics of them. It says they treat others beyond the golden rule. They radiate integrity. They set the example. They have humility. They listen and communicate well. They encourage the best in people. They acknowledge others. They develop talent. They lead employees to the right answers. All 9 of those I thought were very, very important. So when you are doing your meetings with people, just try to check up with them and make sure that they are developing the talent that we have in our current staff, and that they are encouraging them to be good people to our patrons. And I thought all those were good, and have humility, because Lord knows even the managers can be. But I know I am, so. That's it. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
But then we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Thank you, thank you.